TV News, expanding your view.
Welcome back. It's Cool Digest Tuesday edition. At one hand, Nigeria is fighting the Ebola, the deadly Ebola virus disease. At the other hand, it's a Boko Haram insurgency in northeastern Nigeria. Some have described it like a situation between the devil and the dead Lucy. But on the other hand, the federal government is saying that it's prepared to defend Nigeria and even to the last citizen in the country. It went ahead to say no group would succeed in dividing the country and noted that it had confidence in the Nigerian military, the Nigerian army, despite threats by Boko Haram. Now, the Minister of Information, Labaran Marcus, said yesterday that the adventurers that were contending with Nigeria's destiny would not succeed. Keep trying. Our phone lines are flashing on the screen. We'd love to hear from you. This edition is actually dedicated to you, but endeavor to turn down the volume of your TV set when you do so. I'm joined now by a human rights activist, Babatunde Ashafa. Good morning, Babatunde.
Good morning.
And thank you for finding time to join us.
Thank you.
Would you say that the federal government has shown so much expertise in this area of security that can ensure and assure citizens of their preparation to defend the average Nigerian?
Thank you. First and foremost, I thank you for giving me this opportunity to address the issue. I think, firstly, it has to do with the focus. And to me, the fight between the federal government of Nigeria, led by President Goodluck Jonathan, and Boko Haram is mortal combat. That is, one has to live, while other has to die. So the questions is, will Nigeria federal government prefer to die or to ensure that the Boko Haram live completely and render useless and die? So if the focus of Nigeria government is that, look, it is not a matter of two friends. It is not a matter of two brothers. It's a matter of enemy against the people of Nigeria, against the authority in Nigeria. Then I will begin to see that, yes, Nigeria federal government is getting it right. But from all the reports we have been having, this Boko Haram, they keep boasting. Of course, I saw the video clip. They are not spirits. They are confirmed African. I don't know if they are Nigerian. And they are telling the authorities that, look, this is where we are operating. I mean, if the focus of the federal government is right, we should not be talking of Boko Haram gaining more, influence in Nigerian territory. We should be talking of how to ensure free, fair, and credible election in 2015 proper. I think the federal government focus is something that worries me about this issue of Boko Haram.
Where would you say that these terror group got their confidence from? Because there seems to be a lot of consistency. They have proven so consistent, so dogged, so established, so, so influenced, and it sounds as if they're so equipped and ready for this battle. Where would you say, in your own opinion, that the confidence is coming from?
Well, of course, it borders on your interests. And for me, if they call somebody commander-in-chief that commands everything, I think to Jonathan, he's a big minus on his own part. The confidence you are talking about, the assurance you are talking about on the side of the Boko Haram, to me, we do not have two presidents. We only have one. Duly elected one by all of us. So where is the confidence coming from? Is it within the same forces? Or is it within the African continent? What is their own interest? For me, it's just to, box President Goodluck Jonathan to a corner. That look, you are not capable to lead. You are not capable to lead this country. That is just what we are seeing. And, I find it so uncomfortable with the utterances of the Minister of Information, Labra Mako. These are colleagues. But to me, if you are reading the signal, the mindset of Mako, if he had his way, he will leave this government. That's what he's telling you. If Mako has his way, he will leave this government.
How do you mean?
I mean, this is not a friendship affair. This is a war issue, trying to render me useless. If they bring the president of this country down, the ministers, the governors, the chairmen, they are also down. Then somebody call himself a minister, of information. Keep telling Nigerians, we're in control of situation. We're in control of situation. For me, I think their focus has really demonstrated that, look, something is wrong. If I were the Labra Mako, I would just tender my resignation. Enough is enough. It is high time. As a friend, as a colleague, I am advising him to resign now. Because the operation of Boko Haram is within the territory of Nigeria. Not even outside the African continent. Not even a war fight within us. And if Nigeria is the giant of Africa, when you say Nigeria giant of, not just on economy, not just in the military, not just in terms of the size, the population, we are giant in all ramifications, and this thing is happening. I think it's a big disgrace.
You established earlier that there's a political war. How has that incapacitated the Nigerian military in the real sense of it?
My dear brother, if you look at it strategically, you agree with every right-thinking, Nigerian, that look, it's just a contest of competence between the federal government led by Goodluck Jonathan and this, Boko Haram from the eastern part of Nigeria. If indeed you are capable of leading this country, I mean, let's go into it. So if we are talking of political, influence, I think it's just to test the competence of the Mr. President. And I expected him to have woke up since and say, look, if I am not capable of defeating these people, let me resign. We have had in many countries where voluntarily the president just voluntarily resigned when he also, got the signal that, look, I don't have the popular support for me to rule and for me to be accepted by all Nigerians. So that is just it.
The way I see it, it's like you're saying Mr. President should just bow and submit to insurgency. Is it that easy? Would he not, tell how weak the Nigerian Republic is as a nation? Because we're not just fighting, we're not fighting opposition from a part. We're fighting opposition from a terrorist group. And you see it that way?
No. Nigeria remains the giant of Africa, remains the most toughest country. You look at our own in Ekomon, even in AU, are you with me? We determines everything that operates. So for me, for the first time we're having a president, a democratically elected president, that would think until somebody feed me on what to do before I act. For the first time I'm seeing it. With due respect, with all the minors associated with the former President Olusegun Obasanjo, we sought that competence in him. Are you with me? We sought that, a concern, that feeling, that love in him. Whether I'm getting it right or I'm getting it wrong, the love of Nigerian is paramount importance in my hand than any other thing. And the way I go about it, whether it is right or wrong, I must prove to them that I love my people. And that is what Obasanjo did. But in this case, how will somebody be telling me, if indeed I voted for you, you heard of number of people being killed, not one, not two, on different, settings, different places, different hours, and the sitting president is telling me that, look, we're in control of this situation. So if the Jonathan bow down, say, look, I am not enjoying the necessary support, the necessary popularity for me to defeat the Boko Haram, then it's going to be a very good example to whoever that is coming. It's not a function of your money that you should become a president of Nigeria, the pride of Africa, the heart of the heart of the world. It is not a function of the people you can buy rice for you now to say you want to occupy the number one seat. It is not a function of any influence you have within the committee of your friends that now raise you as a problem. It's a function of your love, of your heart, of determination, irrespective of anything. Even you can even down the interest of your family for the sake of the nation. I've not seen this in President Goodluck Jonathan. Yes, the democratically elected president. We need this seed. We need this love, the seed of love from him.
But would that answer the major question on this show? Renewed Boko Haram surge. Where are the Nigerian soldiers? There's a debate ongoing on the front pages of the papers. I'm sure you must have heard about the 480 soldiers who were found in Cameroon. Some are saying they fled to Cameroon. Some are saying the military is saying no, that they fought and there was a way they just that it was a tactical maneuver that got them all the way from Nigeria to Cameroon because they were fighting at a border town. But prior to this time, we have also seen such indiscipline, such unpatriotic, acts and action from Nigerian soldiers, where their wives came up and said, our husbands are not going to fight until they're well equipped. I mean, would you say that's also the fault of Mr. President's love for Nigeria also?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful scenario. You see, when you have a leader that's lack discipline, that thrives on sentiments, that voluntarily choose, greed as his own wife, everything fall apart. Corruption. In fact, if there should be any legacy that should be sustained by Jonathan-led federal government, is the issue of corruption. The former president Olusegun Obasanjo, did everything possible to ensuring that we have a genuine process to fight corruption. And I expected Jonathan to carry on. When the late his boss, late Yaradua came in, he also dwell well on that. Don't forget that they also pick the leader of APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when they had a report that certain thing when he was in school, they certain accounting, and they brought him. I expected him to be up and doing. You also have heard what happened in the oil industries. Where is the Ribado report? The ministers of petroleum look at the allegations leveled against the woman. Is the woman not there?
Are you saying corruption? Corruption is the challenge of the Nigerian army?
Of course not. Of course, they also saw this. Are they stupid? The first line of defense is the Nigerian army. But if you don't have what it takes, why the Nigerian army are so interested? Anytime you hear General Brahman Buradi be on here or is going to address a function, that is a lead, a discipline. Army prefer somebody that is disciplined. And they stop it. When they see the signal from the Mr. President that look, do you think the training the Nigerian armies have gotten, their background, don't you know there is pride in leadership? Wherever they go, they say we have a president that is up and doing. It's a prestige to them. Do we have such in Jonathan president?
But I don't quite agree with you that a leader has to have a military background before he's been respected by the army. For crying out loud, the army is supposed to, Mr. President is supposed to be the commander in chief.
I'm not advocating for having a military background. I'm telling you the purpose of discipline. I'm telling you the purpose of laudable program. And that laudable program is the war against corruption. Is Jonathan fighting corruption? Is Jonathan the leadership fighting corruption? Is no. And all these soldiers. If I should tell you certain information that we are also having. In fact, it is a big risk for any serious-minded Nigerian soldier to just dabble into this Boko Haram without getting his signal right. Because we have all the informations that, look, these people, they are not ready.
But what I'm asking is it right for a Nigerian soldier to desert the Nigerian army just because possibly he's scared to fight the Boko Haram or under the guise that there are no equipments to fight,
Now look at it.
given the military act?
It is not even. Is that not even embarrassment to the nation called Nigeria? That the most respected, the giant of Africa, is now parading his own soldier empty. That we do not what kind of sophisticated equipment are they? Do you think anywhere in the world that
But
Nigerian soldiers
you also
don't
agree with me that all of us are still allegations because the Nigerian military, the defense headquarters had never come up with the reports to say that certain soldiers in northeastern were told to fight without ammunition. So all of these are still allegations coming from different quarters that cannot be confirmed on this platform.
That is a function of technicality. Are you with me? It's a function of certain arrangement that ought not to be in the public domain. But I beat my chest. I give you the confidence that things that are going on in the army now, it is just a failure. I repeat, failure of law for the movement of the motherland by the Mr. President. It is not just for you to say you throw money around. Where is that money going? You don't do the right thing. What is that money? It's like a case of a child or children that have father that is not responsible. And this father in their location is being described as the richest person in that locality. But in the house, they know that the father is not responsible. He comes to house anytime. He does things anytime. No consultations, no respect, no dignity in the family. To them, wherever they go, it's a big shame. They are dying. They are weeping. The Nigerian soldiers are weak. They are weeping. The Nigerian soldiers, they are crying. They are dying. And until we begin to address this issue, honestly, all of us may just be condemned in disgrace and embarrassment.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm advising Mr. President. That is why I'm advising the Ministers of Information, like Marco. He's our colleague, he's one of us. The best thing for me, if you read all the signal, if you read all this move, if Labrama has his way, he will leave this government.
Well, this discussion is not even about Labaramako. Let's talk about the role of foreign aid and foreign support. There was a Paris meeting that involved Nigeria and all its neighboring states, and they agreed to come together and form, a united army. And they also agreed to work together in the fight against Boko Haram. What impact would you say that has had, given the latest development that we are hearing from Goza and other places in border states?
Look, I just need to let you understand one thing. If you're a leader of any reputable organization and you don't do things right, forget whatever you have. It also goes down to whatever move that is being taken, it will end up on the table of Mr. President. But when you don't have that political will to say to the faces of those concerned, this is my position, everything will just be wasted. It's just like this issue of the national conference that just say true. I told people that's the end of it. Does Mr. President have that political will? Whatever goes around comes to his table. He has that. That's final approval. That final order. And when you don't have somebody is this and somebody just comes somewhere and say, do this, I think whether for success or failure, somebody should be able to say, yes, this is my position. Not just, pretending as if we have a direction. How long? By January or February now, the lifespan of the regime will come to an end. How many months do we have? We have a bigger tax here. And since, let me repeat, that look, as of today, Nigerian people, the entire Africa, shouldn't be talking about Boko Haram in Nigeria if we had a president that had that political will to discharge.
Well, there were also, stories I love to call them conspiracy stories that, tag Boko Haram as a political, tool to protest the leadership of Mr. President. And now I just want to ask you, as we count down to the 2015 general elections, with all this latest development, what does this portend for us as a nation politically?
My brother, I believe the agents of the Mr. President, they are also listening. Is there a shame? Let's just ask ourselves this, honest and humble question. Is it going to be a shame to the nation if Mr. President resigns? Let's ask that question.
But I don't want to agree with you that that's the ultimate solution to our challenge. Now, are you saying that Mr. President is the reason for Boko Haram insurgency in northeastern? It doesn't add up. We're talking about
100%.
Not quite a number of people will agree with you on that part, because Boko Haram had even already existed before the emergence of Mr. President in Nigeria.
No. I say no. I think the former general, former president, Gowon is still alive. Are you with me? They pretend as if they are in good friendship with Mr. President. Gowon fought the Biafra war. This is a war. A very simple war. Easy war. Because the Nigerian people have never claimed that Boko Haram is representing them. It's a very simple war to Mr. President of Nigeria.
Have you thought about this insurgency as part of the global threat? Because even America says that Boko Haram is not, it has been declared by the United Nations as a terrorist group that has global relevance. As a matter of fact, many are talking the relationship that now exists between the Islamic State in Iraq and Boko Haram in Nigeria. But have you thought of that network bigger than Nigeria as a nation?
Then it now called for the position of Sultan of Sokoto. From different, interview we have had, different functions also, we have had this man maintaining the position of the entire North. I repeat, this is a simple war that President Goodluck Jonathan should have, subjected to, closed door for long. It's going to be the different thing where this Boko Haram is operating, and at the same time you have people claiming back in there. Nobody has ever come out to back Boko Haram operation in Nigeria. No any leader in the North has ever come out to back Boko Haram. Is it not a very simple, it's a war that the President Goodluck Jonathan should have ended for long? So, the kind of thought you are painting, to me, is uncalled for. It's really uncalled for. If we have a problem, and we know the root to this problem, all what we need is to just get into action. And we know what is happening. We know their interests, and they want Mr. President. Certain things that, this thing is a PDP affair.
Okay, but Babatunde Ashafa, what would you have done differently if you were the president of Nigeria in this ongoing war against Boko Haram that you think Mr. President is not doing?
Good. This is a fantastic question. Number one, I saw where my problem was coming from, right from the onset. Within my party, a clique, a caucus, told me, said to my face and to the entire Nigeria and the whole world, that I must not contest. Within my party, they said to me, if I contest, they will make the government ungovernable for me. Within my party, they said to me that I am not qualified. Look, they have helped me a lot. All what I needed was for me to consider all these options of challenge. Indeed, am I qualified? Indeed, do I have right to contest in my party? Do I have the political ability? I mean, the political will to overcome all these, challenges? It's very simple. When I beat my chest, I can't do it. So it's not a function of money, throwing money around. It's a function of my boldness. Yes, whoever says under my guide, Nigeria must not remain united.
But you're an human rights activist. Would you subscribe to that military action of just unpicking people because of what they have said? You know, because you want to show boldness and strength in the face of leadership.
My dear brother, I am in control of the army. I am in control of the police. All the armed forces of this country I'm in control. And for just a good cause. For interest of the entire nation. Because whoever said to me that I must not rule when I did not come through the power of God, I came in through the power of what? Is the enemy of Nigeria. If my brother said to me that I cannot rule in this country and Nigerian people voted me, that my blood brother is the enemy of Nigeria. So they have given me that mandate to ensure that the Nigerian unity remain intact, the Nigerian unity remain undivided, and that is what I'm going to use, regardless of anything. And that's why I cited the laudable effort of the former President Olusegun Obasanjo with all the minors on his own, administrations. We gave it to him. He said the problem of Nigeria is corruption. And you look at what it is today. Don't forget Nigeria was number 3rd most corrupt country in the world in the past. Obasanjo did it. Now, the corruption issue shouldn't be an issue before whoever that, took over from me. So for me, if by rights, what do I mean by rights? If by the power of the constitutions, I am now called the president of Nigeria today, whoever says to me that I'm not capable, I need to demonstrate to them that I'm capable. And if I'm not capable, you also pass through the same, democratic process.
In what way would you demonstrate?
I would demonstrate. I won't do anything that will contradict the Nigerian constitution. But look, Boko Haram, insurgency, terrorism. These are where that go beyond table meeting. Because you are dangling sophisticated weapon before me, before my government, before my people, and at the same time killing them in my presence. My dear brother, the authority, the constituent authority is not stupid for saying you have right to defend yourself. So you have right to protect your people. You have right to provide for your people. It is not a tea party. If I were the Mr. President, when I've seen that, yes, the Boko Haram, I could not, with the way they are going, it is possible for me not to defeat them. I will tell them my resignation.
Well, let's leave Mr. President for a while, and let's talk about the Nigerian army. You know, the big question on the show today is, where are the Nigerian soldiers? How would you describe the level of discipline and patriotism that we're experiencing now amongst Nigerian soldiers?
Well, if you agree with me, then look, if you call yourself a leader, there are one before you. If you call yourself a first man, there are people before you. My dear brother, forget, I repeat, forget whatever background anybody is coming from. Leadership. It is not something you just, throw up and say, I'm qualified. It is something that has to do with yourself. Not that somebody pushed me there. Not that somebody, persuade me to do this.
But
my point is, if you are not having the right signal from the superior boss, nothing can move. And that is why the Nigerians in military today, we're having all kinds of negative breaking news. Because from the top, they've seen that discipline is lacking. From the top, they've seen that focus of purposeful leadership is lacking. From top, they see that, look, these people, they are not united. Then, if I'm a leader of a certain, combatant, am I going to perform a magic?
Are you saying categorically now that as long as Mr. President remains in power, there is no solution to Boko Haram menace in Nigeria?
My dear brother, except you are killing the war. If President Goodluck Jonathan stayed 30 years in Aso Rock, with these people are going, I tell you, there can't be the end to it.
Well, I've been speaking about today, Ashafa, and is a human rights activist. Thank you very much for finding time to join us today on Cold Digest. And I must state clearly that today, Ashafa's opinions are his, and they do not in any way represent our opinion here on Cold Digest, especially on Cold TV News. We'd love to take calls from you, but I understand from the MCL that we're having challenges with our phone lines, and they want to keep trying. Cold Digest continues tomorrow, and of course, you can reach us on our social media feeds. I'm Nithami Oguntoye. Thanks for being there.
You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then news. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.